So I wanted to go a bit deeper in terms of this review of our initial content over the first couple of weeks. So we're just now moving into our third week of building content and building in public. And we're very much doing this from the perspective of having an idea of where we want to go and what we want to do and how we want to do it. However, we're making mistakes all the time. We're very messy right now. And I heard from somebody deeply resonated at some point. It said, if you don't look back on your initial content, and if you're not really embarrassed, you're waiting far too long to actually produce it. So a couple of the big insights, and I talked about this in another video, was the level of passion and intensity that can come out of me when you get me really talking about why we're doing what we're doing at Ava Health and the problems that exist within behavioral health and how we have created and are rolling out and starting to really execute what we think is the solution to that. And so some folks did come back with some interesting feedback around me potentially feeling a bit angry or agitated about the problems. And what I can share about that is that, the first 10 years I spent in behavioral health, I absolutely held so much anger and almost felt like I was holding the world on my shoulders to go out and to fight with, big insurance and big pharma and, the systemic problems that existed within healthcare and behavioral health specifically. And what that did, of course, was led to significant burnout. And so I tried to get out of the industry for about 5 years because I just felt like, well, how could I work in an industry with these just massive gorillas on my back? And what I have come to realize is that once we know the system that exists, we can then work within that system in a collaborative, supportive, and non-adversarial way. And we get so much further with that approach than we do trying to fight these massive behemoths and these systems that have been built rigged for all these years. And so just wanted to share that from that perspective, passion and intensity are definitely in me, and folks that do know me really well see that on a regular basis. Very close friends, family, they would absolutely tell you, Christopher is one of the most intense and passionate people I know about life, about business, about behavioral health, about addiction. And yet, I don't think a lot of folks that aren't super close to me get to experience that on a regular basis. I think I do come across more mellow and laid back and calm and collected, which to me is not a chameleon experience. There's nothing inside of me that at least I'm aware of that says, hey, I need to show up in this way because I have this relationship. I just think until I really get going, with something I do feel really strongly about and really feel intensely about. And again, that comes down to the things that drive me personally, right? So and I tangent quickly into my values, right? My values are the things that I get really passionate about. So adventure, family, freedom, impact, and love, right? So you get me talking about any of those concepts or any of those ideas, I'm definitely gonna come out in a really intense and passionate way. But it's just an interesting insight, right? And so we talk often about the idea of adaptability and not getting stuck in these cycles of confirmation bias and just continually affirming the idea that I'm right and I know it's right and all this, but is really opening the door to not only taking the feedback in, but then being able to say, look, where is some truth in this, and what in this am I not seeing that I should see? So again, for me, a lot of the first 2 weeks of content was we got incredible feedback from folks saying, man, this makes sense and this is awesome and we're stoked and just glad to be a part of the vision and really can't wait to see what you guys do next. And yet there were still some people that even know me personally that said, whoa, like this is a different version of Chris, like super intense, super passionate. Haven't seen that come out yet. So again, just an interesting first couple of weeks of reviewing what it's been like to build content.
Hello, Ava Health.